Clothier Stadium in Swarthmore, Pennsylvania. It's Centennial Conference athletic action. Doubleheader style today on the Garnet Sports Network as the men of Swarthmore get ready to take on Ursinus here in Centennial Conference action in men's lacrosse. Daryl Doe is back with you here for what should be an exciting matchup. The women get Muhlenberg at 7 o'clock, but the men take center stage here under brilliant sunshine and 62 degrees, something we have not seen in a little while here in southeastern Pennsylvania. We've had our national anthem. Right now, we'll turn it over to our PA announcer for today as he introduces our starting lineups. Let's give it to Matt Judge.
Number 7, Jonathan Singer. Ursinus is coached by Gary Murphy, assisted by Corey Schaefer and Peter DeSimon. And now, the starters for your Swarthmore Garnet. A senior, number 3, Will Drake. A senior, number 8, Ben Schaefer. A senior, number 10, Luke Ingersoll. A junior, number 11, Liam Warner. A freshman, number 17, Henry Coiler. A sophomore, number 22, Alex Straub. A freshman, number 26, Liam Halstead. A sophomore, number 31, Carter Strout. A freshman, number 32, Michael Hardiman. And in goal for the Garnet, number 44, freshman, Shane Nashin. The Garnet are coached by Pat Gress, assisted by Sam Lawson and Lou Harrison.
Well, there you have the starting lineups, at least for Swarthmore. They come in today with a 8-6 record, 2-4 in the Centennial Conference on a modest one-game win streak. Meanwhile, the Bears of Ursinus, 6-6, a two-game winning streak. More importantly, 3-2 in Centennial Conference action, and that is important because theoretically there's only one spot that's going to be available in the postseason as we're underway here from Swarthmore. Thanks for allowing us through your door and between your ears. Swarthmore in the home white and garnet, still battling for that opening draw right on the S at midfield. Ursinus in the road black with the gold and red and white, and still waiting for it. Finally, it'll be picked up by Ursinus and Chase Rondo, the junior out of Norristown. Ursinus has won 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two schools, including the last one on March 30th in 2019. That was a 3-goal win for the Bears. Teams did not face each other in 2020. Season got cut short due to COVID, and then the league did not even play. In fact, Division III did not even play in 2021 because of COVID. Thank you very much. But they are added here today. 15-minute quarters, 80-second shot clock. Shot, score. And a quick start for Ursinus. Tommy Reinhardt, the senior attacker, picks up his 13th of the season. Ursinus has had a nasty start, or nasty run through the season. Their schedule, they have faced number 14 Stevenson, number 4 Christopher Newport, number 1 ranked RIT, number 5 St. John Fisher, number 9 Dickinson, and number 10 Franklin and Marshall. Still have Gettysburg coming up, another top 25 team, as the ground ball picked up by your starting goaltender for Swarthmore, Shane Notchson, the freshman out of Mountain Lakes, New Jersey. And now the Garnet will set up. I'm going to have to double check my information. I would have sworn that said he was a senior, but Shane, 6-6 record, a 9.31 goals against. He's going to sit and watch as his mates try to get one in cage. Jonathan Singer between the pipes for the Bears, the sophomore, 5-5 with a 10.95 goals against. He has started 12 games this season, including this one's a shot. Score! Ripped through the screen door. He never saw it. Quinn Seavold picks up his 15th of the year. We're tied at 1. Right now, the Centennial sits with Dickinson on top at 6-0 in the league. They're 13-0 overall. Gettysburg at 4-1. Muhlenberg at 3-2. Tied with their Ursinus. Franklin and Marshall, Washington College right below at 3-3 and 2-3. As it is kicked out of play, it's going to stay with the Garnet. Swarthmore comes in 2-4. They have a chance to get into the top 4. It'll take some doing. They have one more game this Saturday against Haverford. That's at 12 o'clock here at home. For any hope, the Garnet need to come up with wins today and against Haverford. And then hope for some help. Part of that help would be beating Ursinus. As heavy stick work behind the net. And forcing the turnover is Ursinus. Good job right there by Chase Rondo. Wins a face-off, and the long stick defender causes the turnover. Quickly the other way, shot, score! Somersaulting his way with a rip. Jake Oyert, the junior out of Doylestown. Twin brother number 55, Eric Oyert. And Jake with his 9th of the season. Barely 3 minutes in, and we've got 3 goals. And another face-off win here for the Bears as they lead 2-1. Defensive help coming on quickly here for the Garnet in form of Liam Werner, the junior out of Alamo, California. Tyler Neal, 25 goals on the season. Leading scorer, trying to pressure, has to go behind the cage, and he'll get some help back there. There's the aforementioned Eric Oyert. Gets it right. Wing, backhand shot, score! Wrap around behind his own neck. And the Bears take a 3-1 lead. Jeremy Calabro will get credit for the goal. That's his 23rd. He is second on the team in goals scored. Not the start the hometown Garnet we're hoping for here today. Crowd still filtering in here. Another win. Ground ball picked up again by Rondo. Back the other way, setting up a quick pass across. Hesitation. Didn't quite have it. Did Oyert, and they had to pull it back out. Boy, taking over quickly in that center circle. Chase Rondo doing a pretty good job. Pretty good face-off, guys. Riley Yee is out there. Dominic Natoli both have 60 wins and 120 tries. But it's Rondo picking up the ground balls. Had 38 of them coming in today. He's into the 40s now as a deflection on the pass. It'll stay with Ursinus. A restart behind the net for Oyert. This is Eric. Eric being pressured outside. Down the goal line. Tried for a sharp angle shot. Didn't have a chance to unleash. 22 on the shot clock. Ingersoll out defensively here behind the cage. Passed way up top. Slung across. Quick shot. Top left corner. Score! And the freshman Noxian right now getting lit up a little bit. As this one coming from Brett Wilkinson. Sophomore, midi out of Wilmington. And Wilkinson with his 6th goal of the season shot that like he had a lot more. But just number 6. And right now Swarthmore's got to get a win here. On the faceoff, Dominic Natoli, the freshman, will draw. And he will force a foul against Swarthmore. Another win on the draw. Shot wide, trying to scoop it up. Trouble picking up his Noxian. Smothers it, couldn't get it. Picked back up by Ursinus. Eric Ozier trying to get to it. Gets hacked for all his hard work. And now finally picked up by the Garnet and running out with it will be Halstead. Halstead will give it up, and now Swarthmore finally with a chance to set up. Down 4-1. They could use a goal here desperately as we hit 9 minutes left to go here in quarter number 1. Glad you've joined us here on YouTube on the Garnet Sports Network. Coming in on sides quickly is number 29, Quinn Siebold. Has the only goal for Swarthmore. Has the ball right now. Gets bodied off. Pretty nice push there by Trey Tillman, the senior midi from Townsend, Delaware. Behind the cage, nowhere to go for Ben Schaefer. Pass in front. Hit from behind. Trying to one-time the shot there was Siebold. Couldn't do it. Loose ball picked up by the Bears. And here comes their speed down the right side. Carried over. Still with the thinking about going the distance was Joshua Graham, the senior. And the product out of jolly old England will just pull back and let the mates do the rest. One of them is Tyler Neal. He has the ball behind the cage right now with 8 minutes left to go. A 4-1 lead for the Black of the Bears. Makes a move, but he lost it. Defensively coming out to play it is Noxian. Good job by him. He gets it to Strauch. Alex Strauch will get it up the right side with a little bit of help from Samuel Ginsberg. But the freshman lost it. Ground ball picked up quickly by Ryan Deaver of Ursinus. Self-induced mistakes early here for Swarthmore. Again, this is a pretty much a must-win for either team right now. Top 4 get into the conference playoffs. Dickinson and Gettysburg are just about locks. Muhlenberg at 3-2 is a ranked team. Franklin and Marshall at 3-3, they're a ranked team. Although of all the ranked teams that Ursinus had to face so far, 6 of them to be exact, the one win came against number 10, F&M, as the pass in front right there, maybe a little worried about stepping in the crease, was Calabro. And the turnover for the Garnet. The first 3 games against the ranked opponents, Stevenson, Christopher Newport, and RIT, blowouts, if you want to say 6 or more is a blowout. But the last couple, St. John Fisher, just 2. Dickinson, the 9 team, just 3. And then the win by 1 over number 10, Franklin and Marshall. So this is a Ursinus team that is to be contended with. As a shot, the underhand one ripped and saved by Singer. Great launch right there by Von Mabs, but one of the leading scorers on this team for the Garnet couldn't get it by him. Mabs caught in a double team. Passes it back to Ben Schaefer. Schaefer has to grab it off the ground with 6 to go here in quarter number 1. He'll shoot. Stick save and a beauty right there by the sophomore Jonathan Singer. Warwick, New York. Played in Jersey, though, at well-renowned Don Bosco Prep. Known in many sports, probably known more for football. Not too shabby in Lacrosse either, as Eric Oyer will get it out. Right in front of the Swarthmore bench is Jeremy Calabro, and he puts it back out with a little bit of help to Eddie Newman, well away from cage. 38 on the shot clock. Pass back. Cross it goes again to Wilkinson. Wilkinson launches one wide right. Looked like he was on his offhand, and they're going to give credit for possession on this one to Swarthmore. Don't blink in this sport. A lot of line changes, a lot of action. Speaking of which, a late entry here, Ryan Deaver out of Downingtown, PA. Freshman coming in defensively for Ursinus, number 34. Hustling off here, Eddie Newman. On offense, and a turnover on Swarthmore. Again, too many self-induced errors here early on against a Bears team that was one of the receiving votes after their win over number 10 F&M. And they're showing why here with 4.5 to go. They have pretty much been in control throughout as a pass. Good job to knock it away there initially by Strauch. Although fellow number 22, Tyler Neal, picks it back up for Ursinus. Behind the cage, dipping and dancing, nowhere to go, coming out to the right. Back inside, cut off by Ingersoll from the cage. Bounce shot, going down to get it is Noxon. Scooped up, shot, that one hit the outside of the cage. It's in the crease, so the Bears can't get it. Noxon will step out, and will dump it out to his left. He has a little help there in the form of Henry Collier, freshman defender. Long pass up in between two Bears. Ryan Chambliss barely able to get it, but he manages to and gets it to Mabs. And now Mabs will set up here. 3.5 to go. Barely a handful of offensive possessions here for the Garnet. Charging in, shot, that went wide. As getting bumped from behind was Ryan Chambliss. It is a shot. It will stay with the Garnet. Shot clock at 44. Carter Strauch, sophomore from Alamo, California, all the way around the cage. Ducks back the other way, offhand shot. They're going to call it a shot or a pass? They will call it a shot. Could have been a pass to Chambliss, who was behind the cage, but the officials rule otherwise. Chambliss from Hotlanta. Good give and go there. Pass, shot, scoring tight. Ben Schaefer, the senior, gets goal number 20. Beautiful give and go. I believe that was Chambliss that gave him the handoff, and when two went to play the ball, he ducked in, and it was just Singer in the way of Schaefer. And the senior from Lexington, Kentucky, cuts the lead in half. Now 4-2. Finally a win here on the draw by the Garnet. Samuel Ginsberg able to pick it up, the freshman out of Needham, Massachusetts. He'll pass it off to Von Mabs. Fellow member from Massachusetts, and then a miscommunication as Mabs went to dump it back off to Siebold. Siebold wasn't looking for it. Rolls over the sideline, and another unforced turnover here for the Garnet. Now the massive humanity changing from offense to defense. Wilkinson all the way up top to Newman. Gets it back from him on the left side, being marked by Ginsberg. Ginsberg gets run over right there by Wilkinson. Wilkinson still with it. Pass across, right wing, shot right into the chest of Noxon. He saves it. Ball comes loose way out. Will Drake trying to get it for the Garnet. And now bodies fly. They're going to call a hold. They're going to give it against Ursinus. Has taken a tumble on that one. Going for it was Andrew Simon, the defender, out of New Canaan, Connecticut. So a break there for Swarthmore as they can not run out the clock here. About a 30-second differential between game and shot. Carried over, swapping out offensive players as Drake brought it over. The defender backing out, letting the short sticks do their work. Hesitation step, Seavold to the outside. Ryan Deaver right on him. Deaver, the whippet from Downingtown West. Or excuse me, the whippets are, Downingtown West, that's right. Cougars are Downingtown East. Downingtown West, the whippets, the original school in the Downingtown district. Great facilities they have over there in Downingtown. Shot, ticketed top right corner. It goes by Singer, missed the cage. 26 seconds on the shot clock. 48 in the game clock. Possession still with Swarthmore. They're down 2. If they can cut this thing to 1 by the end of the first, that'll be a win, considering the way this first quarter is gone. Mabs with it. On the goal line, comes way back out right. Being harassed very well by Jake Oyert. And the shot, that goes wide. 2 seconds left. Swarthmore has to launch it. They're not going to do it. They're just going to dump the ball. Shot clock violation against the Garnet. Beautiful defense right there by Ursinus. We'll see if Ursinus tries to push this with 18 seconds left. Over midfield, losing it on a stick check right there was Strauch, but able to get it back is Reinhardt. Reinhardt still with it, in trouble. Pass, that one shut down. Reaching for it there was Ingersoll. Quickly up, late shot, that'll go wide. Would have counted, but Hardiman missed it wide left. Well, not a great start for the hometown Garnet, but they hung in there and have made sure this did not get out of hand. 4-2, Ursinus on top of Swarthmore. This is Centennial Conference men's lacrosse action. You're watching it here on the Garnet Sports Network. Quarter number 2 about ready to get underway here from Swarthmore College. Clothier Stadium. Daryl Dobus with you. Glad to be back again here on the campus of the Garnet. See the officials there. At midfield, Christy Felice, Raymond Burrow, and Bill Chavarelli. The men running up and down the pitch here. Again, Ursinus in the road black with the yellow and red trim. White numerals, black helmets. White and don't you dare say red for the Garnet. As the Garnet will defend the cage to our right. Faceoffs have been a problem for Ursinus, less than 50% all year, but they got the number of Swarthmore, getting 5 of the 7 faceoffs. And looking like they're going to get another one here. 6 of 8. Swarthmore's been winning at a 53% clip, but not today. And the long stick out there, number 26, Joshua Toth, another Downingtown West product. Long stick midi. He's a sophomore. He is still out there offensively. As Gary Mercadante in his third season trying something a little different on offense. There's that pick from Toth. Toth's going to leave, and it doesn't matter. As again, a sprawling shot, and this one a goal from Tommy Reinhardt. The Bulldog of Wilson Westlawn puts goal number 5 on the board. That is his second. Perfect 2 for 2 on the day. And again, another shaky start in a quarter here for Swarthmore as they're down 3. Talk about beautiful facilities. Wilson Westlawn. Their setup looks like a college. It's another shot. That one goes wide. Is trying to get it right off the draw was Dominic Natoli, freshman from Lancaster. Doesn't get too many opportunities to do that. He's just a face-off specialist. The old Fogo. Face-off, get-off. He said, heck with it, I'm going to take a shot here. Taking another shot and a goal through a screen is Ursinus, Tyler Falco. Local boy out of Battle Kinwood. And 2 goals in the first minute. And the Bears have their largest lead at 4. And you wonder when Pat Gress, the head coach of Swarthmore, is going to take a timeout and try to get his charges back in order. But he just had a 2-minute break between quarters. Hate to burn a timeout right now. Third face-off of the quarter. Third win by the Bears. Schaefer, check that, excuse me, that was Rondo, again, who's been very good in the circle. It's a shot off. It'll stay with Ursinus. Again, Ursinus wins, and they will be in pretty good shape to lock down a playoff spot as a shot offhand. That one saved by Nashin. Five saves for the freshman. Just 2 for the sophomore Singer for Ursinus, but in fairness, 14-10 shots on goal in favor of Ursinus. They've had more opportunities. Chambliss on the outside. Marked there by, I believe that's Jack Schimmer. Schimmer keeping him out. Away from the crease, now a whistle. And a violation called against Chambliss, so another turnover. The turnovers are only 6-5 against Swarthmore, but in watching play, it seemed a lot worse. I trust the gentleman here from the Sports Information Department that their stats are accurate, but just the visual looked a lot worse than a 6-5 against for the Garnet. More importantly, goal 7 could be on the stick of a bear right now if Swarthmore doesn't come up with a stop here. Hesitation, nothing there for Wilkinson. Sends it behind the cage there to Oyert. That's Eric. Back at the top it goes, wings to the right side again to Wilkinson. Oyert trying to use the screen. Doesn't work very well. Does manage to get it back out to Eddie Newman. Newman, bumped by Werner. Ten seconds left on the shot clock. Behind the cage. With it is Wilkinson. Look for a turnaround, wild shot. He's checked down to the ground. Long shot. Whistles wide. Shot clock goes off. Shot clock violation. 1 apiece now. Pretty good defense by the Garnet on that one and a really much needed stop. Ground balls favored Ursinus in that first quarter. we mentioned, 2 saves for Singer, the sophomore from Ursinus. 4 in that first quarter, officially for Noxion. No fouls being called. A lot of stick work, but it's been pretty clean as a pass. Too hot to handle there for number 14, Jackson Brosgel. The junior can't handle it, and there's another turnover. Bears have been pretty good to capitalize on these. It's down the left side, Jake Oyert. Left side trying to get that angle. Nothing there for Tyler Neal. Back up top, wide right, it goes to Wilkinson. Check that, that's Calabro. Junior from Robbinsville, New Jersey. We'll pass it back up top. Spun back out, but the ground ball pass there bounced right at the feet of Jake Oyert. Not a good one by Reinhardt. Turnover right back there by the Bears. Way out of his cage to help out was Shane Noxon as it's brought up and over the line by Henry Collier. Collier will go back and be replaced by Ryan Chambliss, number 5, who has the ball right now. 9:45 left here in the first half. Was a 4-2 start to the quarter. 2 quick goals in the first 57 seconds by the Bears. Change that. Defense has been pretty good, but their best defense has been their offense. They have controlled time of possession pretty much for this entire first half. Cooper Buckland trying to do something with the number 35. Couldn't. It finally comes back out. Carter Strauk. Strauk with a sprint. Forced to the outside. And behind the cage it goes. Round to Hardman. Hardman. Bumped by Graham. Shot. That one saved by Singer. Launched down on the run. Good outlet there on the run to Deaver. Deaver will give it up to Neal, and we'll see what the offense runs. Deaver way outside. Excuse me, Neal way outside. Gives it up to Oyert. Behind to Neal, back to Oyert. They'll work it back out, try to spread out this Garnet defense. Right side to Schoenborn. He wears number 44, Stephen Schoenborn, on Mount Laurel, New Jersey. Now to Eric Oyert. Oyert back over, low shot, 5-hole score. Jeremy Calabro gives Ursinus the touchdown. Calabro, if I'm beating the stat update, he has 2. Seven to 2 in favor of the Bears. That's going down. Are they going to call a trip? They're going to call a violation here. They're going to call it against Ursinus. So the Garnet in dire need of a tally here. We'll see what Pat Gress and his boys dial up. Gress in his 26th year at the helm here at Swarthmore. This will be P.J. Cass. Cass, his shot easily handled by Singer. Singer's defense has been keeping shots out long, and he's been taking care of the rest. Pass up top, low liner. May have been deflected by Noxion. Shot will go in favor here of Ursinus. And now a timeout will be called here during the dead ball, and it'll be called by head coach Pat Gress of Swarthmore. We'll take a fast one with him. We invite you to stick around. 7-2. Ursinus in possession of the ball and the lead. Be back right after this. Swarthmore and Ursinus, 11-11. Their matchup record here on the home field of Swarthmore. The Garnet, 8-3. So that is in a bit of jeopardy right now here, even though there's still plenty of time in this contest. Another stat against the Garnet. They are 2-9 in these meetings in conference. In danger of 2-10 here, the way this first half is going. Out of the timeout, Schoenborn had it. Shot, that hit a body in front. And we'll stay with Ursinus. 48 seconds on the shot clock. Under 7.5 to go here in the first half. Fake shot, pulling it back, getting checked down. Getting checked a second time right there is Falco. He lost it. And the ground ball picked up by Will Drake of Swarthmore. Carried over by Werner. And now the Garnet again in dire need of a tally. Last meeting, it was Swarthmore that had the 6-1 lead after the first quarter. And then Ursinus chipping away a little bit in each quarter before winning by 3. Pass in front, shot, score. The cutter came in. Untouched, it's Ben Schaefer. That's his second. And a much-needed tally there for Swarthmore. So a defensive stop and a score, and now need to win the face-off here. 8 of 11 for Ursinus. And on cue, one right there by the Garnet. Scooped up by Joel Paulson, the Hellatown senior. And Paulson will stay out there. Paulson, a big boy, he's 5'9", but built like a fire hydrant. Looks to set a screen. Does, trying to use it, was Seavold. Seavold being checked very well. Coming in offensively now will be Chambliss. Chambliss with it across right wing. Mabs, one of the leading scorers on this team, hasn't gotten on track yet. Left side, 35 on the shot clock. Hardiman trying to get free. Fly comes down, shot whistles, misses the right corner. And we're going to get a man up here. It'll be a holding call. We'll see if it's a 30 or a 1-minute variety. Penalty has not been posted yet. The foul will go against number 34, Ryan Deaver. And it is just a 32nd. And now with that, a timeout will be called by head coach Gary Mercadante, the third-year man for Ursinus, who back in 2019 led the Bears to a 13-4 record, first ever Centennial Conference title for the Bears under Gary Mercadante. And again, it is a tough schedule that has faced Ursinus. Hasn't been any better, really, for Swarthmore. Had Widener to start the year. In fact, I got to call that game right here, 14-12, that one to start things off. That was a good matchup. Garnet started winning the first 3. Lost 2 and then won 3 more. They were on a good run. But then all of a sudden ran into league play. Number 8, Dickinson. Well, he's unranked, I should say, receiving votes, Muhlenberg. Number 9, Franklin and Marshall. 3 straight losses right there in conference. The big win was a win over Number 11, Gettysburg, winning right here at home, 14-10 against the Bullets. But then they dropped one 4 days later against Washington College, who's just 2-3 right now in conference. That loss could come back and bite Swarthmore here if they do not pick up a win here in the next 2 days. Or 2 contests, I should say. Man advantage, 7 seconds left. Shot, score! A whistler from the freshman, Michael Hardiman. His 24th. And the North Massapequa native with the power play goal. Swarthmore pretty good at that, scoring at a 460 clip. Now 24 of 51 on the man advantage. And the lead down to 3. Battle for that loose ball, still on the ground. Still going after it. How do those sticks not break? Big slash. Body still on the ground. Still loose. Now finally with it, it'll be Swarthmore. Boy, it has been tough sledding trying to get that ball. But the Bears able to do so. And then they turn it right over. So Swarthmore giveth and Swarthmore taketh away. As some offensive help comes onto the field here for the Bears in the form of Brett Wilkinson, number 29. Shot clock running. No pressure here by Swarthmore. Is finally entering the fray here will be Eddie Newman, sophomore out of Lancaster, PA. Wearing number 17, but it goes here to Wilkinson. Being forced to his right, trying to force him outside is Ingersoll. Does manage to get him to give up the ball. The aforementioned Newman. Shot. Bounce shot right at the feet of Nashin. Hello, Newman. Important goal to stem the tide there for the Bears. First goal of the year for Eddie Newman. And it gets the lead back up to 4. And that's always a monkey off your back getting that first goal and doing it late in the season. Ursinus has come out strong here today. Although now a win on the draw, losing it, still trying to fight to get it back, is Paulson. They get it, and calling his second time out of the half will be Pat Gress, the head coach of Swarthmore. It's hard to imagine looking at the records that, again, Ursinus comes in 6-6. Swarthmore comes in 8-6. You would think that would mean the game might lean a little more towards Swarthmore, but both teams have pretty much gotten all the heavy hitters out of the way. Again, for Swarthmore, their last game will be against 1-4 in conference Haverford. That'll be on Saturday. Meanwhile, coming up for Ursinus on Saturday, they will be at McDaniel, who is winless in conference and 4-10 overall on the season. Just based on numbers alone, you'd have to think that that is going to go in favor of Ursinus. And then they wrap things up against Gettysburg, sitting in second place. Theoretically, Ursinus could jump up and get the 2 seed if they were to win out. If Gettysburg won out, at least until the last meeting with Ursinus, both teams would have 2 losses, but the head-to-head would go in favor of the Bears. It's a pass. Paul Army knocks it down. Goes over the sideline, so it'll stay with Swarthmore. 3:49 to play first half. 60 seconds on the 80. Left to go here to shoot for the Garnet. Thinking about it, then slipping and falling was Von Mabs. Manages to keep it alive, though. Works its way to Strauch. Strauch, bodied up by Jake Stackpole. Behind the cage, Stackpole again. Gives way in front. Shot, type right corner, score! Carter Strauch, the sophomore from Alamo, California. Another falling down goal for an athlete. He gets his first of the day. 31st of the year for the sophomore. The timeout works for Swarthmore. They cut it back to 3. And a foul here also called against Ursinus, and it's a biggie. They're going to get Chase Rondo. And it'll be a 1-minute penalty, so now huge to get this face-off for Swarthmore. Trying to pick it up is Joshua Toth, the long stick midi. Still doesn't have it. Still hacked at. No one has won this one yet. And finally coming away with it is Ursinus. Good job to get it out of there. Joshua Graham, senior from Reading, England. And now, I mean, that took away about 30 seconds of the penalty. Now Ursinus can just hang on to this with 55 seconds left on the shot clock and just 10 on the man advantage. So Swarthmore is going to go 1 for 2 in man-up situations. As we'll see Tyler Falco in possession here, the Lower Merion ace. With it out high, Schoenborn. Spin to the inside left, shot, top left corner, score! And a little extra energy there from Tommy Reinhardt. Reinhardt with the hat trick. And the Bears back to a 4-goal lead. Every time the Garnet inch closer, the Bears shut the door. This time the draw won here by Paulson. Main faceoff guy came in winning 132 out of 210 opportunities. Now the big man from Hellertown will come out. And the Garnet will try to set up shop. Up top, nowhere to go. Sent across, faking the long fire. Now shooting, shot! Top right corner, sticking it where Mama don't clean no more. Von Mabs. First of the day, 38th on the year. Just absolutely launched that from about 12 yards. And not much Jonathan Singer could do about that one. Finally, a face-off win here. This one by Riley Yee. And now before he can take a shot, timeout called by Gary Mercadante. With 1 minute left, trying to set up something to give the Bears a 4-goal lead, on top by 3. We'll be back in a moment. Fans, a reminder, another important Centennial Conference matchup coming up at about 7 o'clock here on the Garnet Sports Network, as the women take center stage under the lights here at Clothier. It'll be Swarthmore and Muhlenberg. The Mules out of the Allentown area. I hope you'll stick around for that one. We anticipate that to be an entertaining matchup as well. Important for playoff hopes as well for both sides. Swarthmore trying to get to 10 wins. Need to win out, starting with this one. Ursinus will be happy with 9-6. That means they won out and got to the postseason. 30 seconds left to go. Shot clock irrelevant. With will be Schoenborn. Sent across now by Reinhardt. Reinhardt, who has 3. It's a big hit right there in front. Trying to get to it is Calabro with 9 seconds left. Loose ball coming out, still on the ground. Be happy to just hack and whack at it. Violation against Ursinus with 3 seconds left. Launching it is Noxian. In front, chance at a shot, low liner, that'll go wide. Wasn't on cage, but an opportunity there for Michael Hardiman. At least made things interesting there for Swarthmore. Well, this was a 2-goal difference at the end of one. It is now a 3-goal difference as the Bears tack on 5 in the second quarter. Garnet Valley Swarthmore. Thinking Garnet High School, Garnet Valley High School. Swarthmore, the Garnet, tacking on 4 in that stanza as well, but they're going to have to change those numbers around a little bit if they want to get back into this in the second half. Halftime here at Clothier Stadium on the campus of Swarthmore College. It is the visiting Bears of Ursinus 9, the Garnet of Swarthmore 6. We will step aside, catch our breath. When we come back, we'll give you the game by the numbers, get you ready for the third quarter. You are watching Swarthmore College athletic action on YouTube, courtesy of the Garnet Sports Network. at Clothier Stadium. Quick look at the game by the numbers with Ursinus on top of this Centennial Conference matchup, 9-6. Shots favoring Ursinus, 21-17. Ground balls, Swarthmore coming back with a second half to take the lead in that, 18-15. Clears, both sides have been perfect. Face-offs have gotten better for Swarthmore in that second quarter. They were getting dominated 8-2. It is now 10-9 in favor, or excuse me, check that. It is 10-7 in favor of Ursinus, but it was a much, much bigger differential there after quarter number one. Both sides have turned the ball over 8 times. 6 caused by Swarthmore, just 3 by Ursinus. There have been just 2 penalties in the game for a minute 30, both against Ursinus. Scoring for Ursinus, 3 goals for Reinhardt to lead the way. Meanwhile, it is Jake Oyert with a goal, Newman with a tally, Falco with 2, and Calabro with 2 as well. For the Bears, meanwhile, for Swarthmore, Schaefer has 2. 1 for Mabs, got that one late in the second quarter. 1 each for Siebold, Strauch, and Hardiman as well. That is the 6 and only 6 that have been tallied by the Garnet. Paulson, 7 for 14 on faceoff, so he's come in and done a pretty decent job there. 6 saves on the game for Swarthmore keeper Shane Noxon. Meanwhile, 4 saves for the sophomore Jonathan Singer of Ursinus. Ground balls, as we said, have been pretty even. They were 11-10 in favor of Swarthmore in the first, 7-5 in the second. And the turnovers, again, 5-3 each quarter. So it visually looked a lot worse for Swarthmore. They're losing faceoffs, and when they had it, they were giving the ball up. But they have stuck close in that category throughout the first half. We'll step aside for one more quick second. We come back. It'll be quarter number 3 from Swarthmore College. Right now, the hometown Garnet down to Ursinus in men's lacrosse action in the Centennial Conference. It's 9-6 Ursinus. We'll be back in a moment. Third quarter underway. Again, Swarthmore and the white and garnet. They'll be attacking the goal to the right. Behind the cage, trying to create some space is Schaefer. Out it will come as more offensive help comes in for the Garnet. Brosgol. Behind the cage to Schaefer. Whipped around to the opposite side. That is Strauch. Behind again is Schaefer. Switches places, and now quarterbacking is Strauch behind the cage. Wanted to dump it off. It never came out of his stick. He's got to hang on to it. Tries again to pass. It's loose. Ground ball picked up. Saved there by Von Mabs. Pass across. Bounce pass in front. Trying to scoop it up. Unable to do it. Is Schaefer. Not a good pass there. Turnover against the Garnet. Chance now for Ursinus. Holding a Schoenborn. It's out behind the cage. Eric Oyert wrapped around, really spreading out right now. This Garnet defense trying to create some space in the middle. Been a clean game. Again, 2 penalties. Both went against Ursinus in that first half. Swarthmore was able to convert one of them. Shot that whistled wide. That was on the offside by Tyler Neal. Neal looking for his first tally of the day. 25 goals on the season here in his 13th contest. Across, rolling shot. Shot score. Underhand worm burner put through the cage by Falco. And Falco has the hat trick. That'll be his 15th. And again, a slow start by Swarthmore. And here it happens again. Riley Yee thought about shooting. Still in possession. Holding. He'll bring it out and probably be replaced here offensively. And Yee is out. Holding that last time actually was Eric Oyert. With it now, though, is Wilkinson. And he'll shoot and score. Bad starts again for Ursinus. Wilkinson finally with his first tally of the game. His 6th of the year. So all of a sudden, a 3-goal deficit, now 5. Again, no sooner does Swarthmore cut the distance a little bit. Ursinus opens it back up. Chambliss down the middle. Scoop save and a beauty right there by Singer. And the pass mishandled but picked back up by Ursinus. And Rondo. (11-6). Shane Noxion has been allowing, even with his 6-6 record, under 10 goals a game. At 11 and threatening to climb. The Bears have been very sharp here today. Again, a win does not clinch a berth in the Centennial Conference tournament. But it sure puts them in real good position. I was looking back over his shoulder for some help there with Strauch. Nothing there. As fellow number 22, as Tyler Neal, as Strauch was harassing him pretty good. 15 on the shot clock. Getting a pick. Trying to use it. Shot. That one hit a body. And deflected wide on that attempt by Jake Oyert. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Back in motion. Brother Eric, turnaround, flying backhand. That one goes wide. Initially, they were signaling a reset of the shot clock, but a shot clock violation instead against the Bears. Again, Ursinus still has McDaniel and Gettysburg. Gettysburg is 4-1 right now. They're sitting in second place in conference. McDaniel right now playing out the string. They have not won a conference game. Turnaround shot, that on the offside by Brosgel. Goes wide, but it'll stay with Swarthmore. Pass, Cutter, not caught. Ends up high up top. Shot going down to get that one is Singer. He's been pretty sharp today. Again, the defense has not really been allowing too many shots in. Close as the long stick scores. Freshman Liam Hallstein, the defenseman, out of Culver Academy in Dorset, Vermont. And check that, the wrong guy, I'm looking at the wrong one. That's 26, Joshua Toth, the long stick midi. Talked about him earlier from Downingtown West. And for Toth, that is his second goal of the season. And the largest lead of the day at 6. As Paulson just bowls his way to a win there. Again, he is a bowling ball out there. Just muscles his way for a face-off win. And the Garnet are going to need several more of those. And Swarthmore needs to win out their last 2 games. The final one against Haverford on Saturday. And then hope for some help. Ursinus trying to basically end their playoff aspirations. Good stick work right there. Forcing his man way outside was Rondo. Rondo has played an excellent game here so far. Cross to Hardiman. Hardiman thought about a shot. Bad angle. Graham right on him. Shot may have been going wide, coming up high and twisting his body for the save was Singer. And everything going right now for the Bears. As the senior defenseman Graham over the line. To Neal. Across. Another rolling goal. This one by Tyler Neal. And despite the sun, it is snowballing out of control here for the Garnet. Neal second. A 7-goal lead here for Ursinus. Trying to defend its 2019 title. They are the defending Centennial Conference champions. Again, in 2020, the season was cut short. In fact, Ursinus started out 7-0 when COVID struck. And then in 2021, Division III basically shut down. So no games were played. As in tight shot, they are going to allow the goal. And that'll be a score there. I was wondering if maybe he stepped in the crease. Alex Strauch just muscling his way in. His first goal of the year. Believe that was 22. Is that 22 or is that? Did not see who they gave it to. I thought it was 22. Waiting for him to post it. Mavs is already. Haven't seen a posting yet on the goal. There's a win on the draw there by the Bears. And actually it was 29, not 22. That's Quinn Siebold, the senior, with his second of the day. But the lead's still at 6. As some offensive help comes in here in the form of Tyler Falco. As hustling off defensively is Joshua Toth for Ursinus. Still hesitating on the outside, way behind the cage and back out high. It comes to Neal. 22 on 22 is picking him up is Strauch. Behind the cage, passing up top, low line shot. That got smothered. Good defensive play to get a stick out there by Liam Halstead. And eventually leads to a turnover against Ursinus. Not agreeing with that decision. Was Jeremy Calabro. But it stands as Notchin gets free. Pass into a crowd in the middle, but with it and getting out with speed is Mabs. Still time here for Swarthmore. They're going to need more stops, and more importantly, they're going to need more face-off wins. Top to Chambliss. Chambliss still with it. Picked up by Shimmer. It's a shot. That one just missed. Who are they going to give it to? It's a race. It's going to stay with Swarthmore. Shot clock set to 60. 5:30 left to go. Third quarter. Another great start to a quarter by Ursinus has them with a 6-goal lead. It was as high as 7. Mabs, nowhere to go. Trying for that low underhand shot, now pulls it up. And the fire by Shaper seen all the way by Singer as he had a clean patch of grass in front of him to watch that one. And Ursinus quickly into the offensive attack mode. Oyert, clobbered, flag down, still with it. Still fighting. Now we'll get a stoppage here, and it looks like a man-up situation for the Bears, as a little nicked up on that one is the former Buck in Eric Oyert. Central Bucks West, not a powerhouse in District 1 and the state of Pennsylvania, but not a pushover by a long shot either. Playing out in Doylestown at War Memorial Field. Know that field very well. Wasn't where I grew up, but it's where my boys grew up. It's my school district. Shot from the outside, big save. May have even caught a piece of the new goalie, Jack Ballou, who is in cage, seeing hot shots. That one down low to save it is the senior Ballou. Jack Ballou out of Roanoke, Virginia, in relief of Shane Noxton, the freshman. A 1-0 record at 12-8, 5 goals against. Just his 6th game of the season, he started 1. Comes in with a 5-6, 5 goals against. And we'll see if that's the spark that can help out the Garnet here. Pass across, up top, opportunity, clean shot. That one crosses the goal line. It bounced off of the chest of Singer and rolls in. The official right on the goal line extended says it crossed. And some frustration there for Jonathan Singer, who had to stop. And the rocket launched, I believe, by Mabs. See, that was Quinn Siebold. That was 2-9, not 1-9. So Siebold gets another tally. He has a hat trick. But another faceoff went quickly. A shot. That one deflected wide. And, oh, it looked like that might have been a chance for the Bears to play it, but they're going to say it goes to Swarthmore. Good hustle by Ballou. Boy, it looked like the closest to it was Calabro. The officials thought otherwise. Still a 5-goal advantage here for the Bears with 3:18 to go. The Garnet need to go on a scoring run here. Around turnout shot. The net moved. That one hit the outside of the net. That turnaround jump shot by Strauch. The rebound comes out here to the Bears. Singer with it. They'll dish it off to Oyert. Oyert will carry with speed. Gets around Simon. Pull it back out. We'll get it to Wilkinson. Wilkinson still with it. Coming out to challenge. It'll be Simon. Wilkinson using a screen. Back up top to the man that set that screen. In Neal. Neal on the left side. Oyert behind the cage. Outside to his brother Jake. Jake still with it. Pass in front. Trying for a quick little sneaky backhand right there without looking. Was Wilkinson. It went wide. Coming up on 2 minutes left. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Bears in possession of the ball on the 5-goal lead. Oyert will hang out, go behind the cage again. Oyert guarded by Ingersoll. Pass in front, shot, score, the cutter down the middle. I believe that was Newman. If so, that'd be Eddie Newman's second. One step forward, 2 steps back for the Garnet. Lead back to 6. Most of the game clock can be taken up with this possession here. And a violation called against Ursinus. So a face-off win again there for Paulson. And now important to get a goal here. Got to get this down to 5. The lead is extended each quarter. It was a 2-goal lead after 1. It was a 3-goal lead after 2. Out front, shot. That was deflected, went wide. Still with it, though. It is the Garnet. Mabs. Up top to Strauch. Strauch guarded by Stackpole. Coming up on a minute left to go in the third. Shot, that one deflected. Coming out to try to get it is Singer. Singer hustling back into his cage, is picking it up, is Schaefer for Swarthmore. Now another shot, a bounce shot. That one from Mabs. And that'll go wide, but Nearest to it was Strauch, so it'll stay with Swarthmore with 28 seconds left to shoot. Strauch behind the cage. Schaefer, pass in front, unable to handle that one was Seavold, and now the Bears with it as hustling is Singer. Looking to get rid of it, does. Ball bouncing around, still bouncing around, flipped up, and now finally controlled by Ursinus. Just grabbing that one was Ryan Deaver. 18 seconds to go, shot clock asleep. Oyert. Around it goes to Strauch. Check that, around it goes to Neal. Shot attempt knocked away. 5 seconds, 4. And knocked over the sideline eventually. Trying to get to it, Eric Oyert. And with 2 seconds left, not much that Swarthmore can do. They'll roll it on the ground. Shot at the horn, it made its way to Schaefer. Another late try, this one in tight, but that one goes wide as well. The lead was 2 through the first quarter, was 3 through the second quarter. The lead is now doubled going into the fourth. Ursinus looking strong with a 14-8 lead on the road here against Swarthmore. We'll be back with the start of the fourth quarter right here on the Garnet Sports Network. Fourth quarter ready to start here, just about at Swarthmore College. Darryl Doe is back with you here for what the Garnet hope is not the last 15 of this contest. They would like overtime or a lead here, but they've got some serious work to do. Quick look at the out-of-town scoreboard in men's lacrosse, nearing the end of the third. Gettysburg in trouble on their own against Dickinson. That's a 1-2 matchup. And the top seed right now, Dickinson, with a 12-8 lead on top of the second seed Gettysburg. So that's important, not only for seeding, that'll pretty much guarantee Dickinson top seed throughout the tournament, including home field advantage. And we'll get you more scores here in a moment as Swarthmore trying to score quickly. All 3 quarters, they have given up goals early, and multiple goals early, and has really put them in a hole. Turnaround shot, misplaying that one was Singer, and the goal scored by Peterson. As I am looking at the wrong numbers again, Carter Strauch got the right number, the wrong name. Carter Strauch will get his third, so he has a hat trick along with Seavold. And that is the start that Swarthmore needed here, although they are still down 5. Elsewhere across the Centennial Conference, in men's lacrosse, coming up at 7, Haverford is at Muhlenberg. Haverford will be the final opponent for Swarthmore as they win another faceoff here. Haverford looking for its second conference win. I mean, Muhlenberg 3-2, trying to hold on to that 3 seed right now is a bounce shot. That one hops over the crossbar. It'll stay with Swarthmore. Also at 7 o'clock, Washington College and McDaniel. Washington College at 2-3. They're trying to sneak into that number 4 spot. They've got to win out themselves. That shot going over the crossbar, not taking a chance there with Singer. And those are the only other games going on right now, or at least the only other games on the schedule. Here today is a steal by Swarthmore. Below the end line is hustling back, getting knocked into his own cage with Singer. And now the Garnet will try to set up. Really need a goal here in this possession. Carter Strouk to Schaefer. Head fake doesn't work. Strouk has it back. Cutter in front. That was too high for Seavold. Hustling to get it. No problem there for Hardiman, but he's way away from cage. 45 on the shot clock. Hardiman on the offhand. Gets decked hard. Flag comes flying. Loose ball scooped up by Ursinus, and we're going to get a cross check, I believe. He doesn't hit the turf. I think that one's let go. Again, our officials, Christy Felice, Raymond Burrow, and Bill Chavarelli. And we'll get the call on this one. This is probably going to be a 1-minute penalty. It'll actually be a 30-second penalty. It will go against number 42. That'll be Joshua Graham. Not so jolly from England on that one. Third penalty against Ursinus. Swarthmore 1 for 2. A man up. It would help if they score quick, but not a necessity here. Scoring is more important than speed here initially. 9 left on the shot clock. Shot goes wide. Or I should say 9 left on the penalty. And the restart coming. Hardiman gets it back. Thought about a shot. Low liner. Ding dong off the left post. Oh, heavy metal music, a favorite of goalkeepers, ringing in the ears of Singer. That one ticketed on an amazing underhand shot by Hardiman. He got everything but the goal. And now Ursinus can burn off some time. And maybe with a towel, he put a nail in the coffin of the Garnet. With it is Oyert. Jake gives way to his brother Eric. They are twins. Pair of juniors out of Doylestown, PA. Pass to a cutter, too high for the intended recipient, Wilkinson. Out to the sideline, trying to save it, unable to do so, is Jake Oyert. So good defensive stop, but right now, goals are kind of important here for the Garnet. Jack Ballou has been getting the work here in the second half. 2 saves and 5 goals allowed for him. The senior replacing the starter in Shane Noxion, the freshman, giving up 9 goals, only 6 saves for the freshman, who again came in with a 9.31 goals against. That's going to take a little hit. And he's going to get his 7th loss here unless Garnet can come up with something. Hesitation move, trying to get free as Mabs. Nowhere to go. Up top, Chambliss, shot. That one whistles wide. Still 27 on the shot clock. Meanwhile, Jonathan Singer has gone the route. 9 goals allowed, but 10 saves. Just under his .565 save percentage for the year. He's been getting the job done. His defense has been doing a better job of keeping most of the shots from the outside. As that jumping shot, that one goes wide. by Mabs, now with 10 on the shot clock. Tight shot, hit the outside of the net. Hacked at, whacked at, comes loose, and is picked up. Not a shot clock violation, as running out with it is Joshua Graham. Pass down low, across, wide open, hesitation, blocked by Ballou, what a save! Eric Oyer, several dekes had a wide open net, and somehow making the save was the senior Ballou. Oh, Swarthmore can get back in this one. Remember that save at about the 9:40 mark. With a sense of urgency needed here by the Garnet. You hear the chance of defense here by the fans that have made their way from Ursinus. Not very far away as a pass. A little miscommunication there, is thinking it was being expected was Mabs, not realizing it was coming to him was Chambliss. And a turnover against Swarthmore. Turnovers are never good, but that one was very inopportune. Good stick work and getting knocked to the deck. For his efforts there was number 28 in Jeremy Calabro. So back-to-back turnovers here. And now a flag has been thrown here. This one is going to be against Ursinus. So with 8.5 left, I know new players are coming on, but Swarthmore really needs to push the offensive tempo here. Cutter not there. This one's going to go all the way out to midfield. And that'll stop play, and now the penalty is going to be enforced. And I believe they got Dominic Natoli. If I saw the number, it's either Reinhardt or Natoli. And actually it is Reinhardt, number 14. The finger signal went 4-1 as we read it. But it was actually 14 Reinhardt. It's a 30-second penalty. So the fourth one here against Ursinus. 1 for 3 on the man advantage here for Swarthmore. But they have got to start putting balls on cage in a hurry. Brosgel across, shot, smothering that one will be Singer. He'll control his own rebound, and that'll kill off the penalty. And more importantly for Ursinus, they can kill off about 70 more seconds if they decide to. Stack pole. Went for the pass, stolen away here by Swarthmore. Only problem is Swarthmore has not been able to do anything with it offensively. Another turnover against the Bears. Ursinus now pushing it up. The long pole in Will Drake, the senior from Wayne, getting it across. Now the offense trying to take over. Shot. That one deflected. I'm not sure if the deflection was by Stackpole or by Ben Getz. Either way, a good defensive play to not allow the shot on goal. And now the Bears with 7:10 left can kill some more time. Jake Oyert. And now a timeout is going to be called here by Gary Mercadante as they can smell victory. In the 23rd meeting between these two schools, tied at 11. The scoreboard, though, says something else. 14-9 in favor of Ursinus here on the road. We'll step aside, be back in a moment. Reminder, coming up at 7 o'clock, it'll be women's action as Muhlenberg comes into Clothier Stadium to take on Swarthmore. Another important late season battle for not only reaching the postseason, but also seeding in Centennial Conference action. Crossover game in softball, 8-2 Washington College with the win over Marymount out of the Atlantic East. That was game one. Game two right now is 1-0 top of the second for Marymount out of Virginia. Looking at our sport right now, Dickinson still with a 12-8 lead. That has not been updated yet. See if we can get you an update here on that one. Is now 15-9 Dickinson. Trying to hold on to their perfect season so far. And coming up later, Washington College is at McDaniel. Haverford is at Muhlenberg on the men's end. Winding, firing, scoring. He's got a rope. Tommy Reinhardt. The Bulldog with a bomb from the left wing. That is his, I believe, fifth. Check it, fourth on 5 shots. And with 6:23 to go and a 6-goal lead, that may have sealed the fate here for Swarthmore. Another draw one by Paulson. Paulson hustling, looking to score, shooting. Got harassed on the shot, easy save by Singer. And back out with it come the Bears. Liam Halstead, who has a goal. The long stick carrying it over. Now he's going to leave here. It's a loose ball. A little sloppy right there. Saving it was Reinhardt. And the Bears will maintain possession. Can run off almost a minute left of this 5:40 game clock. Here in the fourth. Holding is Falco. Wonder how many references to the replacements he gets. The left-hand shot from Don't Call Me Shane Falco, good. And the Lower Marion ace aces another one. It's 16-9. He's got 4. And when the coaching staff of Pat Gresson, assistants Sam Wasson and Lou Harrison look back on this one, they're going to see face-off losses early, goals given up early in each of the first 3 quarters just killed the chances for the Garnet. And no matter how hard they push back, the Bears have had a response. A foul here against the Bears. Face-off win. Face-offs have actually gone back to Swarthmore. They've won 16 of the 29. Midfield draws, which is pretty good considering they were down 8-2 in that category early. 14-5 since. Big reason for that was Joel Paulson. He has won the majority of those. Across, shot that hit a body in front. It'll deflect over the end line. It'll stay with Swarthmore. As hustling there first was Ben Schaefer. 45 on the shot clock. Schaefer trying to reset. Brings it back up top. Hardiman lost it. Back the other way. Here come the Bears. Graham shot. Tried for the bouncer just over the crossbar and over the head of Jack Ballou. It'll stay with the Bears. Is now coming in offensively. It'll be Wilkinson to replace him. 60 on the shot clock. Still one more game coming up for Swarthmore. Be their senior day. They'll have Haverford noon here at Clothier. Meanwhile, a winless McDaniel will be at home awaiting the Bears and their team bus. And then the following Saturday, it'll be a big matchup against Gettysburg, who, as we said earlier, was losing to Dickinson midway through the fourth. And with 4:29 left, that score is still 15-9 for Dickinson. Trying to run their record to 14-0 on the year. 7-0 in conference. 9 on the shot clock. Wormburner, a riser and a goal. Buck Nation rises as Eric Oyert gets in the scoring column. His first goal of the game, to go with a couple of assists. And the Doylestown Junior has given the Bears its largest lead of the game at 8. Ursinus has been allowing 11 goals a game and scoring 11 goals a game. Those numbers are going to adjust a little bit here after this one. The same can be said for Swarthmore. They've been allowing 9.5 goals a game. They've doubled that here against Ursinus. Trying for a little more right there is another diving shot attempt by a Bear. This one, Tyler Neal, goes wide. It'll stay with the Bears. 55 on the shot clock. Bears will look to kill time. Gary Mercadante has done a wonderful job at Ursinus. Pretty darn good school, just like Swarthmore. Academically, athletically, trying to improve in some areas, but not so much in their lacrosse areas, as they've been real good here over the last couple of years. Pass in front, checked in tight was Calabro. And Swarthmore will play it out. Good one-hand grab right there to save the pass by Ingersoll. Here in the final 2 minutes. Down the right side, flag thrown. And a high five given there as well. Good sportsmanship being shown. They're going to get Riley, I believe that's Riley Cesarini. If that was number 11 on the foul. And actually, it's going to be 12. Oh, these old eyes, they need some help. They're going to get Ben Getz. Another Bulldog, a senior out of Wyomissing. And Wilson Westlawn along with Tommy Reinhardt. In fact, they were teammates. Pair of seniors there. And odds are they're going to get at least 3 more games, 2 regular season, 1 post after this win today. 1 minute penalty assessed here. Swarthmore has had to work for everything. Nothing has been simple. Even now, shot, whistles high, and we'll stay with Swarthmore. Bullet from Strauch over that 6-foot crossbar. Still 25 on the shot clock. Same on the penalty. Shot, that one kicked away by the leg of Singer. Pass comes out. Pushed up by the Bears. That was Wilkinson that pushed it up. And now with 50 seconds left, the shot clock is irrelevant. And right now, coaching staff here saying just pull it out. Pull it out. And a roller a little bit weak right there by Reinhardt. Unintentional. It'll go back to Swarthmore. A little too nonchalant on that one here in the final 30. Hardiman getting whacked at there by Graham. A foul called here against Graham. It'll stay with Swarthmore with 20 seconds to play. Swarthmore's record will go to 8-7, 2-5 in the Centennial. And their hopes of a postseason tournament will go with it. Ursinus will go over the 500 mark. At 7-6, more importantly, 4-2 in conference. They will have won their third consecutive. And depending on what happens later on today at Muhlenberg, as Muhlenberg will host Haverford, they could find themselves as a 3 seed. As it stands right now, they're a 4 seed. Not in the tournament yet, but they are in pretty good shape to get one of the 4 seeds in the Centennial Conference postseason tournament. And they do it with a strong showing here at Swarthmore. The Garnet, unfortunately, just one more game this year. We hope you'll join us here on the Garnet Sports Network. That'll be on Saturday, 12 o'clock, against Haverford. Final look at the Centennial Conference out-of-town scoreboard. Final 2 minutes at Dickinson, and Dickinson's going to come away with the win. They're up 15-9 on Gettysburg. Again, Washington College and McDaniel at McDaniel, home of the Green Terror. That coming up at 7. Haverford at Muhlenberg. That's the big one here. If you're a Bears fan, that is at Muhlenberg at 7 o'clock. Speaking of 7 o'clock, we hope you will come back, grab yourself a bite to eat, sit back, relax, enjoy the day. Take your computer outside. Just warm, though. It's going to cool off. And the ladies of Swarthmore will get ready to do battle, as they are in a flat tie for the 4-5 seed, along with McDaniel, Ursinus, and Washington College. Here late, trying to get one of the 5 seeds in the women's division, Swarthmore will take on Muhlenberg in an important late season matchup here to try to get one of the 5 seeds in the women's Centennial Conference lacrosse tournament. But for here, the men, Swarthmore, their hopes die, courtesy of the Ursinus Bears. 17-9 in favor of the Bears. Again, the Bears go to 4-2 in conference, 7-6 overall, and solidify their position as one of the 4 seeds. Still with 2 games left to go for the Bears. Swarthmore falls to 8-7, 2-5 in league play. That'll do it here from Clothier Stadium on the campus of Swarthmore College. My thanks to Matt Judge taking care of things up here. For everyone associated with the Garnet Sports Network, I am Daryl Dobas saying thank you so much for watching our final. Again, Ursinus gets the win in men's lacrosse, 17-9. You have been watching NCAA Division III men's lacrosse action here at Swarthmore College on YouTube and the Garnet Sports Network. Have a great night, everyone.